So today we rented a piece of equipment. It's a Volvo 110. Uh, it's a big wheel loader. We actually are renting it so we can get our grading done. We got to be able to dig 3 feet down into each house pad. That way we can access that good soil. And then we're going to have to fill that back up with good soil. So the good soil, we have to go dig another part of the land 3 feet down. And then once we get that 3 feet down, we're going to dig another 3 feet down. And that second 3 feet down, so from 3 to 6 feet down, is our good soil. Then we'll be able to pick up that soil, put it back in our house pads, water it, compact it, and do it for each house.
It is cold. I don't know if you can see. This is some ice forming. It has been so cold and they have been working so late to try to get as much of this done as possible while we have some of the equipment rental. And I probably should explain, we're actually building two houses here. We're building our house, and then my mom and her husband are going to be building a house on our property a little bit a ways away. So we've never built a house. We are taking guidance from Walter, my mom's husband. You've seen him before. And he's the one who's walking us how to do all of this. We've never built a home, and he's built a couple. And then we have our good friend Daniel, who is kind enough to help us with all the labor. And you see him a lot in videos too, if I haven't already pointed him out. So that's kind of who the three guys, when I refer to, that are so far doing all of the work for this insane build. But we're grateful to have Walt's guidance and Daniel's help, and I know Ian really appreciates any free labor that he can get. So we are very excited to have our little group come together to help make this happen. So thanks, guys. Hello, today we are on the property, and Ian is actually getting started on the second location that we need to over-excavate. It is one of three. He finished our house a couple hours ago, took a break. Now he's working on the second guest house, and then he will go and we're going to try to get our pond started as well. So those are the three sites we have to over-excavate. We're really doing the pond because we have to get the good soil. I'm sure Ian's explained that, but we want to make sure our house sites are good to go. So hopefully we can knock that all out with the time that we have allocated and use the rental. We did use a skid steer the first time and it was just going way too slow, and so it just made more sense to get the big loader, and that has worked out wonderfully. So now we are done with our house over excavating and we are on to house number 2.
So the reason that we rented this is because it has a 4.5 yard bucket. We can move as much dirt with each pass as we can. And basically the dirt that we have to move from the first house, we have to move 3 feet of the top dirt because it's considered sandy. So we can't use that to build off of. So we have to move 3 feet out of this house. We have to move 3 feet out of the in-laws house. And luckily, we're also going to have a pond. So we're going to move the top 3 feet out of the pond. But below that 3 feet, so 4 feet down to, is all considered good soil. So we're going to move that top 3 feet out of the pond. And we're going to use that dirt from 4 feet and below to fill the house pads. And that dirt is good construction dirt that will be able to fill water and compact for both properties. And luckily, we'll be able to put most of this excess dirt, this not good 3 feet of dirt from each pad, and put it back into the pond, because we're not looking for a 9-foot pond. So we'll be able to move some of that dirt, refill it back into the pond. That way we don't just have excess dirt piles everywhere. And another good thing to be able to use is I'll probably end up using a lot of this dirt as a back berm when I start putting together the shooting range that I plan on putting down to the east side of the property. So that's going to be great.
Course, at the property, Ian has finished clearing out site 1, which is our house, site 2, the guest house, and now he's working on the pond behind me. So it is really exciting. We've got about 20 hours left on our rental, and so we're thinking we're going to be able to get, well, we got the 2 things that we had prioritized to get done. That is actually done, and now we're getting anything that we can get in the pond is a bonus. So we're really excited. All right, so this is about as much of the pond that we got with the leftover hours from digging out our house and the guest house, which is a nice start. We have access to this better sandy soil, and then it's kind of funny, we have these dirt mountains everywhere around, but the wind has picked up considerably, and so I don't think we'll be out here too much today just because the wind is kind of